Welcome to All About Albemarle, the segment where we talk about the things that matter to the people who live, work, and play in the city of Albemarle. I'm David Fath, the Communications Director for the city, and joining me today is Albemarle Police Chief Jason Bolhorst. And Chief, I wanted to talk about something that people may be seeing more of on city streets, and those would be golf carts.
Right. Well, the important thing to know about the golf carts currently, they must meet the requirements set out in the standards and within the city ordinance to operate in the city of Albemarle. And the first thing you've got to know is you've got to go through the process with the city and registering that, and the police department's your first stop. So you've got to come by the Albemarle Police Department to see us to get that ball rolling.
All right, and let's talk a little bit about the permit process that someone has to go through in order to drive a golf cart. And let's be clear right off the bat, they're only going to be allowed on streets where the speed limit is below 35 miles per hour.
Right.
Let's get that right out of the way. But walk us through a little bit about the permitting process.
Right. So the first thing, you're going to come to the police department to get the registration paperwork. There is some stuff you can do online, but when you come to the police station, you'll be met at the desk. They'll make a phone call to Sergeant Honeycutt, who will come meet you and go through the whole process with you. The first thing is the application that's got to be filled out, and then we inspect the golf cart to make sure it's got all the safety items that's required by city ordinance. So with that, we're going to go through and look at that vehicle and make sure it's got all those items. The registration process is good for 1 year, and it costs $20. Once you complete all that, you'll pay that $20, and then you'll be issued a placard that is good for that entire year.
And let's talk a little bit about the features that are required in order to pass basically the safety inspection. Can you run people through those?
Sure. On the application and again on the city website, it's all listed as well and in the ordinance. But the big thing is the golf cart can't exceed 20 miles per hour. So that means you've got to have some type of governor or restrictive device that it will not reach speeds over 20. So then you've got to have a rear view mirror, left side, right side, or wide angle mirror so you can see around you. The headlights have to be there, rear facing, brake lights, and turn signals. Slow moving placard on the rear as well, and that's that triangle reflective decal that you can probably pick up at Lowe's or any other shop that has those farming equipment, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to be clear as well, the full list of requirements, you can find those on the city's website, as you've mentioned. Right. The place to go is albemarlenc.gov/golf cart. On that website, you'll also find the application form, and that can kind of get the process kickstarted to save yourself a trip down to APD to start with. Right. So let's talk a little bit about who is allowed to get behind the wheel of a golf cart.
Well, you've got to be 18 years or older, and you've got to have a driver's license. So the owner of the golf cart is really going to be the person registering the vehicle, and they have to understand that they're responsible. So if you have somebody outside that 18-year-old mark and they don't have an operator's license, then you're still liable for that, and your permit can be restricted because of that.
And one other note, you do require proof of ownership, and liability insurance is also required.
Yes, those are all check boxes on the application process and the inspection.
Gotcha. And let's talk a little bit about limitations. We kind of hinted at it earlier about on streets where the speed limit is no more than 35 miles an hour. That's where you can be. But where are some places around town that are restricted?
Right. The areas that you cannot operate a golf cart, again, 35 mile an hour, you can cross immediately. You got to go straight across any other highway that's greater than 35 to remain on a 35 mile an hour posted speed limit street. But you're not allowed to operate a golf cart on the U.S. connector, Highway 52, 2427 bypass. So those are off limits to golf cart use, with the exception of crossing to stay on that 35 mile an hour or less speed limit zone.
Gotcha. And again, the information about rules and the safety requirements, all of that can be found on www.albemarlenc.gov/golf cart. And again, if you want to drop in person and get that information, you guys are more than willing to help with that, I know.
Right.
And we've had a couple of people already register successfully without any issue.
As of this morning, the count is up to 3.
Okay, well,
We've got
there
3
you go.
golf
You
carts
got 3.
registered.
And
Yes.
keeping in mind that we started this, I guess about 2 weeks ago, when July 1 was the first day that registration could start. Let's switch gears a little bit, moving to a different topic. There's a really cool free community event that you guys are going to be putting on. Tell us a little bit about it.
Right. What's happening, it's like the Coffee with the Cops program. We're switching it up a little bit as we have in the past. It's going to be at Jeremiah's Italian Ice, new location out on 2427. It's going to be hosted on July 24th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. So we're going to have our officers out there. I'll be present along with the command staff. So several of us will be on site to enjoy some Italian ice with the community members and just to chat. Come out, understand that the police officers you're going to be speaking with are also human and have the same issues that you have. And it's just really set up to build relationships and to have a conversation about whatever is important and whatever's going on in the community with the community members.
Absolutely. Chill with a Cop, again, is on Wednesday, July 24th from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's Jeremiah's Italian Ice located in Albemarle. And before we go, a heads up for Albemarle residents, keep an eye out for a survey on public safety and law enforcement in the next couple of weeks. Chief, I believe that survey is going to launch, and you'll be able to find it on APD's social media page, on the city website. I'm sure we'll have paper copies available as well at police headquarters. So trying to gain some feedback from the community. I understand you do that on a routine basis.
Yeah, it's important for us to know how we're doing and what the community, what's relative to them and any improvements we can make.
Absolutely. Chief, appreciate the time. Thank you for joining us. And that is all the time we have this week for All About Albemarle. Don't forget to follow the City of Albemarle on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. For Police Chief Jason Bolhorst, I'm David Fath. Thanks for listening.